What's up, YouTube? Pogiforce here. It's been almost a year since my last video. How y'all been? You been doing good? You okay? I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. Kajudo kind of died out from under me, and that was kind of what this whole channel was about. So I wasn't really sure what to do with myself. I mean, props to the guys who continued playing, and I'm glad they still have a fun hobby that they can enjoy. But without the competitive scene and without the continued growth of the game through continued set expansions and support from Wizards of the Coast, I didn't really feel like I belonged there anymore. So I kind of moved on and I did some other things. I wasn't sure what to do with myself really over those 10 months. Um, for a couple months there, I played the Dragon Ball Z TCG that came out from Panini. It was fun. It was fun. I kind of got over it real quick though because it was. I mean, it's a card game. You know, card games are going to be heavily reliant on luck, but DBZ was so reliant on luck, like you don't even know. Like you get a bad hand and you're done. You're done, son. You're done because your life is your deck in that game. So you get your opponent gets a good hand, you don't. They just beat your face in that first turn, and you just lost like a third of your deck right there, and all those options that you needed are gone, and that's it for you. I did enjoy it, but I also saw that it was kind of going the same way Kaijudo did. Very small community, very small local player base, with some very heavily competitive local players, kind of pushing out all the casuals. And while I enjoyed Kaijudo for what it was, in hindsight, I recognize its flaws and its shortcomings. It got very competitive very quickly and didn't really have the local players, the casual players, to help drive the game to grow because you really need those casuals, and we just didn't have them in Kaijudo. Um, Dragon Ball Z was headed very much the same way. It was kind of driving out all the casual players. The first Dragon Ball Z tournament we had was like 16 players, and it was awesome. And then it went down to like 12, and then it was 8, and then we were lucky if we could get by the time around the time that I quit, we were lucky if we could get 4 players to just sit together and play a game. So I kind of gave up on Dragon Ball Z. They're still making sets at a very slow pace, but they're still making cards. I think they're not trying to push to be a big competitive thing. It's a casual game for them, and that's fine. It just really wasn't for me. From there, I moved on to a little something called Pathfinder. Pathfinder, I actually had played a little bit before. It's for those of you who don't know what Pathfinder is, think of Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition and then expand on it, and that's what Pathfinder is. Pathfinder's got so many books out now. This is just the core book here. I've been really enjoying it. I've been playing organized play as well as campaigns off to the side. I followed some YouTubers who do like, well, not necessarily Pathfinder, but like this sort of game, like D&D, Pathfinder, things like that. And it's been really fun, and I've been really enjoying myself. I have a level 5 fighter who's a dwarf who's a tower shield specialist. He gets behind a really big shield, and the way I built him is that his goal is when he's in a party with other players, he defends his allies. Like his ally gets attacked, he basically jumps in front of them with his massive armor class, and he's basically untouchable for the most part. He has his weaknesses, but for the most part, he's untouchable, and he makes his allies pretty much untouchable. He's my favorite character. He's my highest level character in organized play. I've also got an archer, an alchemist type character, a barbarian. You know, all the core, all the really traditional classes for the most part. I have an oracle instead of a cleric. For those of you who don't know, an oracle is basically a sorcerer version of a cleric. But now we're getting into nerdy stuff that a lot of you may or may not know about. Another of our players at Pathfinder actually introduced me to this other game that's been around by a while. It's produced by Fantasy Flight. I never thought I would get into a miniatures game, but I've really enjoyed it, and I've gotten a couple of my friends into it. And I play mostly for fun. I'll go to like a local event, and I'll play like one game because a game takes a long time. But I play like one game, and I really enjoy myself. It takes a bit of setup, it takes a bit to clean down, but Fantasy Flight I find makes a lot of really good board games that I like, and this is a game they make. It's called Star Wars X-Wing. This is a core set right here. Um, get two TIE fighters and an X-Wing and then all the essentials. I've really been enjoying this game as well. I run a build called Oprah because it's all about giving away a whole lot of stuff for free. In X-Wing, you have things called actions. Each ship can take one action, and I've set it up where when one ship takes an action, it gives like the same action more or less to all the ships around it and gives it multiple of it. So the idea is like you get a target lock and you get a target lock. Everyone gets a target lock. So that's my Oprah build. Um, I may post something up about that in the future. I don't know. Um, so yeah, that's where I am right now. Pathfinder, X-wing. But another thing I've really gotten into is back to video games. I did play Hearthstone for a while. Speaking of video games, from my understanding, CVH has gotten hardcore into Hearthstone, and that's good for him. I'm glad he's found a way to found a good hobby for himself, found a way to occupy himself. He also goes to the gym. If you haven't seen his Instagram recently, boy works out. Anyway, video games. Specifically Pokemon. I've always been a big Pokemon fan. I got my first hobby was collecting Pokemon cards. I have an Ash Ketchum hat back here on my hat. I actually have two different Ash Ketchum hats. The Gen 1 Ash Ketchum hat, which fits, and the Gen 2 or Gen 3, whatever it was, Ash Ketchum hat when it was black. That was supposed to be a one size fit all, but doesn't fit my fat head, so it just sits over there. But yeah, I was and still am a big Pokemon fan. Pokemon's gotten really easy to do competitively with X and Y and Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and so I play it. I've also got Pokemon Shuffle, got Pokemon Rumble World, all kinds of great Pokemon games. Been really enjoying it. So I think what I'm going to do with this channel from now on, if you haven't noticed, I've taken all of my Kaijudo videos and I've put them into one playlist by themselves. I'm not going to do Kaijudo videos anymore. The game is dead. I'm sorry, guys. The game is no longer being produced. It's no longer fun for me. I'm glad there's people out there who may still enjoy it. I've noticed I've still gotten views on my Kaijudo content along. Even as of this last month, I've gotten views on my Kaijudo content. So I know there are people out there who still watch it. So I've decided that I'm going to keep it all. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not making Kaijudo content anymore, but I'm not going to get rid of what I've already made. And I've put it onto one playlist for you guys. For those of you who want to see it, it's there. But from now on, I think what I'm going to be doing is doing basically whatever I want. Content on things that I want to do. If I ever want to like break down the Oprah build for you guys and show you, I might do that. If I decide I want to like kind of show you one of my builds for a Pathfinder character or character concepts. I'm also an illustrator on in my free time, what little bit of it I get now, and I like to draw pictures of my characters. Um, I have a bad habit of not finishing pictures, but that is a thing that I do, so I may share some of that with you. And then, of course, things relating to Pokemon, video games in general. I've got an experiment I've been working on. I'm planning on doing a video about it soon, but I've got like all these old Nintendo handhelds that I've been doing experiments with. Got my old 3DS right here plugged in and charging. DS Lite, Game Boy Advance SP. I got all these handhelds. Zelda, Zelda that I've been experimenting on because I noticed something interesting. I'm probably going to make a video about it in the future. The Game Boy Color's battery hatch is broken, guys. So yeah, that's where I am right now. This is the future of the channel. Um, if you guys stick around, I appreciate that. Um, I won't be upset if you leave because I have changed direction. I'm actually surprised I've retained any subscribers at this point, but thank you for sticking around. This is going to be the future of my channel. Pogiforce Plays. Welcome to the future, guys. I'll see you around.